Just give a few seconds for everybody's connection to come through before we start. I'm already seeing some people come through, a couple of familiar faces, which is great. Hey, Lincoln.
Carl, long time, long time, long time.
Too
How are you?
long, too long. I'm
Too
really
long,
well.
yes. How's things?
I'm very well. How are you keeping, my friend?
Yeah, just, trying to support our students, work and, balancing everything. But yeah, it's all good. Everything's fine.
Good
Hope
to
you're all
hear.
right as well.
Yeah, balancing lots as well, but it's a joy, right? That's why
Yes,
we do
it
it.
is. It is. I mean, I'm just joining to hopefully just share this fantastic, program with others. So yeah, looking forward to hear many people joining.
I hope so too, Lincoln. Hopefully we can get the information out there. That's the aim of today, and we'll make a
Okay.
start. I can see we've now got a good
Yeah.
group through. I'm sure people will be joining over the next little while as well. So, folks, welcome to the session today. We've got about an hour for today's session. We may go a little bit shorter or long. We won't go longer, that's for sure. We won't be going longer, but we may go a little bit shorter. But just so you know, we're expecting about an hour. Today, we're looking at kind of health action training and who we are and what we offer for the Nursing Now Challenge family network group. And I'm going to kind of share some information. I'm going to do some slides. I'm going to do some talking. But one of the best ways to kind of share what HAT is and who the kind of things we do is to do a little bit of the activities that we share to give you a real sense of what a hat session is like. The main objective of today is to give you the information you might be looking for about health action training courses. And obviously, number one priority after that is how do you take up the opportunities that are there for you through the Nursing Now Challenge. Um, this is being recorded so we can share it out afterwards as well. So if there's people who are asking you or if you think others who would like to know this kind of information, please do feel free to share this as far and wide as you'd like. So I'm Dr. Carl Tezard Kleister, and I am one of the only people in the world that I know of who has a PhD jointly held between a School of Nursing and a School of Drama. 5 years ago now, just over 5 years ago, me and some colleagues came together, and on the basis of my PhD work and some work that'd been going on for some time in Northern Ireland before that, we created this company called Health Action Training. We've been since then training healthcare professionals, mostly nurses, using an innovative blend of person-centered nursing and applied drama. There's a couple of people on the call. You already heard me chatting to Lincoln a second ago who have taken part in those programs and have had first-hand experience. But I understand that people who haven't, it can feel a little bit confusing. What is it? How does it work? All of those kind of questions come up. So that's what we're trying to solve today. So I'm going to share some slides and some information about some things. If you have any questions at any point, Hannah is here in the background and can answer most of the questions, I'm sure, through the chat box if needs be. I'm sure if there's any questions that can't be answered in the chat box, we will have some time for questions and answers after the presentation. And then we'll do some of the activities that we do in the sessions just to give you a flavour of what it's like. And it's always good to do these activities anyway. Hannah let me know that she hurt her back today, so I'm not going to be doing anything too strenuous to make sure Hannah can take part too. We're going to be doing a seated version of our activities today. So I'm going to crack on. You're welcome, Hannah. See you in the chat. I'm going to crack on with the presentation. If you have any questions at any point, I am not precious. If you want to interrupt me, please do raise a hand through the Zoom function, put a message into the chat box. I'm more than happy to pause and answer any questions at any point as needed. And yeah, be careful when reaching for hairbrushes. Um, yeah, and we will have some time afterwards where I'll see what questions people have. So let's get started. Okie doke. And I will share these slides afterwards. I'm more than happy to share these slides through Hannah is probably the best way. I can share it in the chat box too, so you've got access to them. So let's get cracking. We've already done the intro stuff. There is this kind of cool video that was produced a little while ago that gives some great information about the collaboration. I'm going to play it for you all. It doesn't have all the information. It's a nice kind of intro video, but again, it's just signaling kind of another resource that you can use to share with people who might be asking questions about what HAT is, or if you're someone who's asking those questions yourself, hopefully it gives you a good little foothold. So let me know if you can hear this. It doesn't start sound-wise straight away, but let me know.
Health Action Training provides specialised communications training for nurses and midwives. We draw on applied drama, actor training, and person-centred practice to help you communicate effectively, manage stressful situations, lead on solving problems, and learn from perceived failures. We're pleased to partner with the Nursing Now Challenge to bring our unique training to members of this global network, supporting nurses and midwives around the world. Our bespoke courses are accredited by the Royal College of Nursing, the CPD Standards Offices, and the Nursing and Midwifery Board of Ireland. Over 95% of our participants strongly agree that our courses provide a positive learning experience. For many, it's game-changing. And thanks to the support of the Burdett Trust for Nursing, it's completely free of charge.
My learning journey began with Health Action Training, and arriving at my third course with them, I feel more positive. At personal level, I'm more resilient.
The experience in itself was something extraordinary. It was just amazing, and I feel like I'm a better person for it.
To learn more about our approach and register for an upcoming course, visit the Nursing Now Challenge website.
Just thought I'd play that. That's on the Nursing Now Challenge website as well if you want to find that video yourself. Mostly I want to play that because it has two great snippets from two folks who have done our programs, Rita and Zippy you saw there. It's really hard to explain what we do in words and kind of talking through it and explaining things. It is something that is based in experience and having taking part in things. So hearing from people who've had that experience is the most powerful way to kind of say what we do and hopefully give you the right information. I'm going to try to do it by explaining at this point. If you have any questions, do ask. So let's make sure that doesn't play again. Here we go. So what is HAT? Who is HAT? This is us. This is the Health Action Training team. It's seen a few changes, but this is the original team that came together and put HAT together. This is back in 2021 or 2022 in Dublin. So we are a training company with expertise in training nurses across the globe, as you can see here. Our expertise ranges from lots of different areas of nursing, decades of experience of nursing in different contexts, in different global contexts, in different departments, in different kind of clinical settings, in social settings, and so on, as well as drama and educational practice in particular as well. So for us, we see drama as the vehicle for the education to happen, with the nursing expertise being, provided by experts in nursing. We see the drama as a vehicle towards education, and that's essentially what our approach attempts to do. We use things from drama and actor training as methods to enhance how we do things like communicate, how we are present with people, how we listen, how we are present with ourselves, and so many other aspects as well, to name but a few. Really importantly, that last line here is kind of key. We're not training nurses or healthcare professionals to be actors, but to be able to take better actions as a nurse. And we'll do an exercise later in the session to explore what an action is when we talk about it in drama and health and actor training. Also important to know, it's kind of another expertise part that we have and something that we're very passionate about is the person-centered nursing framework. And when we work with other folks other than nurses, there are different frameworks, but we're always underpinned by person-centered practice. But the person-centered nursing framework underpins all of the work we do at HAT. It's a mid-level theory as a framework, so it applies in lots of different contexts particularly for kind of nurses in all of the contexts that nurses work. What we've discovered and what came through in my PhD research is that when we use approaches from drama, we bring these theories and ideas of person-centeredness into reality. We help create a stepping stone between the theory of how do we better understand and work with people, to do that in a practical sense before we're actually working with those people in a real sense. So you may, in your studies at university or colleges or vocational programs, had learned that in a very theoretical process. This kind of process of using drama, role play, simulation, that gives a stepping stone for that to happen. And it makes it kind of very applicable to different circumstances as well. We're really passionate about person-centeredness. I'm particularly very passionate about person-centeredness. And there are other frameworks out there. There are other theories of nursing out there, and they're all useful for different reasons. One of the reasons why I really like person-centeredness as a framework is because it reminds us that fundamentally, whatever we're doing, people are the important part of the equation. And if we focus our systems around helping people, then we create people-centered systems and we help people, which I think everybody can agree is one of the main aims that we have when we're nursing, and hopefully most people in life as well. So let's get into some more information about what's actually involved in our courses. You'll be doing some of the activities in a little while, so you get some more hands-on impressions of it. But our courses are interactive, they're dialogical, so usually it doesn't mean one person, like I'm doing right now, I fully admit, stands and talks to people and says what you should know, how you should learn it, and how it works. Instead, we have a discussion about the ideas that we explore and the practices we explore. What did you think about that activity? Do you think you can apply that in your real life? We field these discussions and we kind of build a dialogue on that, and that creates a learning environment. Importantly, it's about having fun as well. Drama games, drama exercises can be really fun. Now, not all people find that kind of drama stuff as fun as other people do. Some people find it confronting and difficult, and that's totally understood. And we do work within that. We do work within it to make it about the learning, and that is always about the learning. But those three principles are important for all of our sessions, that we want to be interactive, we want to be experiential, so we're doing things rather than talking about things too much. But then when we do talk, it's a dialogue, and hopefully it's fun as well. There are so many different kind of inspirations to the work that we use, and we draw from a lot of different practices for specific purposes. And we draw from areas like you see here, from mindfulness, from yoga, applied drama, actor training, breath work, voice work, movement work, actor training. All of these things are included in what we do. It's important for us that we are responsive to each group that we have. So our sessions are always live. We try not to do anything asynchronous. So, you watch a video and you get the content from it after the session's already happened. We want to make sure that we get to know the groups of people that we work with and that we tailor what we're doing to that group so it makes sense for them. We don't want to present a whole session on, say, how to break bad news to a group of, say, nurses who are never in the context of breaking bad news to people. Breaking bad news is a very difficult thing to do. Some nurses have to do it quite often. Some will very, very infrequently have to do it. So it's about knowing the group. It's about knowing what's important to that group. And we're very keen to make sure that the content is tailored to them. The approach that we use stays the same, but we're making sure that the content makes sense for the people we work with. We're really proud that we have really high levels of accreditation on our courses. We vary the type of accreditation that we have based on the different course that we're working with. And we're also very keen to build an evidence base and have built an evidence base. We are very keen to evaluate our courses to make sure that we're capturing data that points towards where we're being successful and where we can improve, and to make sure that what we're delivering comes from a place of evidence rather than assumption. We can have a sense of what we think is important to learn and to share, but in the end of the day, we want to make sure that the evidence and the data we're collecting points towards that as well. And that's a process we're really keen to do. You see this last thing here, we have no multiple choice questionnaires. We don't have pre-recorded video sessions on our main courses. Everything we do is live and with you in the moment. We're not interested to create training that is something you feel you have to do, that you feel obliged to do and weighed down by doing. We want our training courses to be engaging, to be useful for you, and that's something I'm very keen on. And to kind of give an experience that is genuinely educational in some way, shape, or form, not just a series of questions that you could just read and get the answer to without having done any of the kind of training or watching a boring video or anything like that. Nothing wrong with those training programs per se. They do a fantastic job where they need to. But for us, the benefit of what we can deliver and the main impact of the programs that we share is building a community, and through that kind of level of community, learning with each other about how to do things differently and how to overcome the challenges that we're all facing in very similar ways. Our programs are very multicultural, particularly with our work with the Nursing Now Challenge. We've worked with nurses from over, I think at this point, 85 to 90 different countries. That's a lot of different cultures that we've worked with, often with about 10 to 12 different nations represented in each course that we have. That's one of the benefits of using Zoom, is we can have all of these people in one room, and we can then build this community of practice where we're learning, what does it mean to be a nurse in Lebanon? What does it mean to be a nurse in Mexico? What are the differences? What are the similarities? What can you learn from each other? What can we kind of facilitate as an experience where we kind of develop ourselves and foster growth and so on? So that's as simply as I can put what our courses involve. So let's talk more about the detail of kind of what are the courses that we offer for Nursing Now Challenge members. So here is, so far currently, the opportunities that we can offer to Nursing Now Challenge members through our partnership. So the first one is our core program, which we call an Introduction to Health Action Training. This is a 36-hour long program, and it's CPD Standards Office accredited as a program. I'm just going to check the chat here. I'm seeing there's lots of activity. I want to make sure I'm not missing any questions or anything. Ah, great. It's lots of people saying their name and where they're from. Fantastic. You're all very welcome. Yeah, so this is our core program. This is where we teach you in as short a time as possible, believe it or not, for 36 hours, pretty much all of the principles that we find useful and important in the learning and the process that we've done. It might sound a lot. 36 hours is a lot of time, but it's genuinely packed with all of the things that we share with people, all of our expertise in one course, essentially. We run these regularly throughout the year through our partnership with the Nursing Now Challenge. We'll tell you some more detail in the next slide about how you can get involved in these. We have some coming up very soon. Another thing I've not put into the slides that I'll mention now, what we are working towards with these programs is translating them, because we're very aware that language can be a barrier for many others, and for many people, for many others around the world. So what we're doing, we've worked really hard with some partners to begin translating the program and have trainers ready to deliver it in that language. So we are translating into Spanish, and that course will be delivered next year, April or May next year, time to be confirmed. And then in Arabic in the year after that as well. And we are hoping, touch wood, all being well, to start translating to even more languages as well. We want as many people to access this as possible, because we know the impact that it has for people, and we want more people to experience it. On that, one of our key ideas as well is that we have a train the trainer pathway. This is really crucial for us to share what we do as wide as possible. We can't, I individually as a trainer, as a person, can't train all of the people who ask for the training. I would be working for every hour of every day for the rest of my life to do it. So what we want to do, and what we've been doing for a long time, and we now have 39 fully qualified trainers, is to develop people and their skill set to be able to deliver this training themselves. I think this is really important for two reasons. Firstly, that you can kind of get a really in-depth level of training through this pathway. You really spend time with the ideas, you really get to grips with them in a kind of very deeper level, particularly to that point where you are ready to kind of share that learning with others. Secondly, it means that your experience and expertise can come into a meaningful use and a meaningful kind of conjunction with our ideas. What do I mean by that? It means that a nurse in Mexico, and I'm thinking of our good colleague Zoe, who's in Mexico City, who's done the trainer pathway. So use Zoe as an example. I'm sure she won't mind. A nurse based in Mexico has much more experience about what it means to be a nurse in Mexico, in Central America, in a Latin country, in a Latin-speaking country, than I ever will. So I can give the skills of teaching how to teach through drama, how to use these ideas, how to make it apply to person-centered nursing, and so on and so forth. If I give those skills to Zoe, if I help Zoe come to those skills, she can then use the two together. Her deep knowledge and experience of what it means to be a nurse in Mexico and how to be a hat trainer, to deliver hat training in Mexico in a far more impactful way than if I went and did a program in Mexico, for example. So I'm really passionate about this pathway. And as I said, we have 39 fully qualified hat trainers from so many different nations, I think around 12 different nations. And they're such a wonderful cohort of people. In fact, Rita, you saw in that video, is a qualified hat trainer and has been doing incredible work at the hospital she works at in Lebanon, using our approaches to kind of enhance what she's doing. That's the way I like to see it. It's about enhancing what you're already doing. Now, that train the trainer pathway is a bit more exclusive, it's a bit more intense, it's a bit more in-depth. It's 2 courses, and that's over 72 hours of direct contact. That's again CPD Standards Office accredited. I think there's a few other. The Intro to HAT course is also accredited by the INMO, the Irish Nurses Midwifery Organisation, which I didn't actually add there. The Train the Trainer pathway, CPD Standards Office. Of course, I'll tell you more about how you can get involved in that in the next part, but let's just go through what's on offer. The next part is a webinar series, and we are into the 5th webinar so far that we've done. We just did the 5th webinar. Some of you may have come along to our webinars before. These webinars are open to absolutely anybody. Obviously, we'd love to see as many Nursing Now Challenge members at these webinars as possible, but they're open to anybody. We do 6 webinars a year, and we aim to do at least 2 of those webinars as hybrid, as on location as well as live streamed. The bottom picture on the screen you can see here is from when we visited Delhi in India, and we delivered a webinar with our fantastic partner, another hat trainer, Dr. Rathi Balachandran, who has the microphone in that photo. Worked really closely with her and her team members and organizations she's affiliated with to deliver a conference, which included our webinar that was live streamed to the world, as well as kind of done live in person. The webinars focus on particular topics, and I like to think of these webinars as looking at that particular topic through our unique viewpoint, through a health action training viewpoint. as in how do we make this topic more practical? How do we use drama techniques to explore it more? Where does person-centeredness work as a theory alongside that? For example, we've done a session on dementia and dementia care. We've done a session on how to communicate. We've done a session on dealing with crisis. The next one we have coming up is our next in-person one, which will be in Abuja in Nigeria, which we're very excited for. And that one we're going to be exploring the topic of how we care for carers. How do we look after healthcare professionals who do so much work to look after others? How do we better care for them? So those are open to all as well. The next one, and I'm really, really excited by this one. We just had our first program last year, and we have our second one starting very, very soon. In fact, registration for it opens tomorrow. This is the Challenges Committee Leadership Program that we've worked really hard with the Nursing Now Challenge to put together, as well as other stakeholders and partners. This program incorporates one-to-one coaching alongside our live workshop sessions. So it comes in two phases. Phase one is about coaching, where you'll meet with a qualified professional coach who will give you insights based on an Enya lens, which is a kind of a format and system of coaching practice. And you will find out your strengths, your weaknesses, things that might be particular challenges for you, where you can grow, lots of other different aspects of you, your own potential for leadership, your own barriers to leadership, and so much more beyond that. After that phase, with that learning in hand, you join us for our workshop sessions, and we have 10 workshop sessions based around different kind of topics of leadership. And we have some really fantastic guest speakers on that program, some fantastic people. I won't spoil who. You'll have to join the program to find out who they are, or keep an eye on social media. So those are the courses and opportunities that we can offer to Nursing Now Challenge members, completely free of charge for every person who joins us for it. That's thanks to the funding from the Burdett Trust for Nursing, without which none of this would be possible. If you want to join these and you're a member of the Nursing Now Challenge, you can do so for no cost to you beyond any data or access cost that you might have to join via Zoom. So the big question, I'm sure, and the last one, you have to be a Challenges Committee member. That's worth noting. The big question I'm sure that you probably have is, how do you get involved? So here is not an exhaustive list of how to get involved, but here are the main ways that you can keep up to date with what we're doing and find the opportunities in which to get involved with any of those opportunities, programs, courses, webinars. So the first one is joining a waiting list for upcoming Introduction to Health Action Training courses. Now that's our core program, if you remember. That's the 36-hour one. We usually do that over 12 weeks in 3-hour slots, and that's a really good core program to join. We know it's time intense, and we acknowledge that, but if you have the time and you can manage it within your working commitments, I think it's a really good core program. Of course I would. Now this link will take you to a survey. Once you fill out that survey, you will automatically join the waiting list for the courses. What that waiting list means is, as soon as registration is open for those courses, you'll be pretty much the first group to hear about it and have the opportunity to sign up to that course that opens up. We have 2 courses coming up in September, Intro to HAT courses, at the start of September and then towards the end of September, running at the same time. So those are the next ones coming up. The dates aren't fully confirmed yet. As soon as the dates are fully confirmed, if you sign up to that, or if you follow us on social media, or if you keep an eye on emails from Hannah, you'll get the information for that by any of those means. The best way is to sign up to that link there. That will get you a direct kind of pipeline to us hearing about when the courses are open. The Train the Trainer pathway is, as I said, a bit more exclusive, a bit more intense. By exclusive, I just mean that you have to have done the Introduction to Health Action Training course before you can do the Train the Trainer pathway. That's what I mean by exclusive. I don't mean that you have to be a VIP to join it or anything like that. That's very important for us, because we want people to have a basis in what the ideas are before they join that trainer pathway, to then really get to a deeper level of understanding, to the point at which you can share that understanding with others. I'm going to point you towards this photo here, and I've chosen these photos for a particular reason. In the middle, you'll see my fantastic colleague, Hazel, with her arms folded in front of her there with the Health Action Training t-shirt. She's a qualified HAT trainer, and the process doesn't stop once you finish the course. We like to make sure that there is a mentoring kind of process where you can join things we're doing as an assistant to learn more about it, to have that kind of stepping stone process into being a trainer. So I just wanted to highlight that. So that's the pathway for you. We also have another link that you can sign up to for hearing about the webinar series. We do a lot of promotion about the webinars on social media as well. So that will be hopefully very clear to see on our social medias when the webinar series are coming up. But if you want to join the mailing list to hear information very quickly and when it comes up, you can join our mailing list there. This one's simple: Challenges Committee Leadership Program. Join the Challenges Committee. Easy for me to say. If that's something that you'd like to do and you're not sure how to do that, you have Hannah in the chat here, and you can send that message to her of how do I join the Challenges Committee, and she can point you in the right direction for that. But again, that's a very involved program that's specifically for people who have joined the Challenges Committee who want to take that kind of next step with the Nursing Now Challenge to, uphold those values that drive the change and growth that we're all looking for when we're working together with Nursing Now Challenge and others. So those are the ways to get involved. I'll share these slides with you after, so you can get these links in your own time and so on. You can always reach out to me as well. My info is coming up next, actually, here. Yeah. So yeah, you can reach out via these links, via these email addresses. You can reach out through Hannah if you need to, if you have any questions about how you access these programs. I freely invite you to share these opportunities when they come up with colleagues of yours. If they're not yet a Nursing Now Challenge member, they can still join our programs and then afterwards join the Nursing Now Challenge. That's also okay. So if anybody's put off by that, that's absolutely okay. Okay, that's essentially the information I wanted to share with you as succinctly as I could manage. Sorry if it went on a little bit longer than I thought. But I'd love to hear if anybody has any specific questions about the programs or any of the information there, or how to access something. If not, what I might do is I might ask someone who I can see who's done a HAT program to give us a quick summary of their experience of it. But first, is there any questions from anybody about anything I've gone through there? How to access these opportunities? I can see Hannah's right on it. She's put in a message there of how you can join the Challenges Committee into the chat box. So those interested, have a look at that. Any questions, folks? What questions are there? Are there any? I'm sure there's some things to clarify and make clearer. Are there any questions anybody has for that? Well, I'm shocked that I was so clear that there's no questions or clarifications needed. I'll take it. What we'll do instead is I'm going to invite Lincoln. I'm going to put Lincoln on the spot slightly. I'm sure he doesn't mind. Lincoln has taken part in some health action training. In fact, the Challenges Committee program up to a point. Lincoln, I hope you're joining our next year to finish up that program. I know that there was clashes, so you couldn't carry on through. But Lincoln, I invite you to give us a sense, a few things about your experience, your insight into what it was like.
Yeah, what it was like, it was amazing. Let me just say this. I'm seeing familiar faces, familiar people as well. Maureen, you gotta make sure you apply and join. Ashfaq as well. I know we follow each other on social media. Expect you to join this. This is amazing. I think for me it's just really it was a game changer to be quite honest with you. There's so many without giving too much, because I want you guys to just feel the experience. I think for me is this idea of, person-centered, the difference between person-centered and patient-centered care. It's just working in clinical areas, and how to be mindful of my own mental health as well, which is really, really important. And how do I react to those situations? I mean, the role plays crazy. I mean, it's amazing how Carl you just managed to combine all of us, into one place, different people in different regions, and we still managed to do some very, very amazing practical stuff that are very, very helpful. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to give too much, like I said, but please do join this. This is a very, very important course, and it's free. It's part of, the National Challenge. So yeah, join. Anybody who's got any issues, just drop me a message, but I wrote about it, on my LinkedIn profile just to explain how this really, really changed. I took it very serious, because I think these programs are very, very important. Just working with others as well internationally, connecting with different people. We're put in different groups. Just this whole idea of also working together with people in different contexts, different situations, I learned so much, I really, really learned so much about myself as well. I'm from Zimbabwe originally, but I'm here in the UK. So just getting that different context, from Africa and my colleagues in the Africa region, in the Asia region as well. And we're all coming together as a family, at the end of the day. So yeah, hopefully we'll see so many people to join this. It's very, 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 very important. So yeah, Carl, that's me. Unless there's any, I don't want to give too much. No, I'm
Yeah,
not. I can't do that, Carl.
I think you're right. It's
Yeah.
it's such a difficult thing to explain, right? In kind of telling someone what it's like. So, on that note, thank you to Lincoln to share his experiences and thoughts. Shall we do some exercises that we share? It'd be great, folks, if we can have some of your cameras on. As you know, it's hard to communicate effectively if we can't see each other's face. Understand if you're in a situation where you can't have your camera on, but as we do these exercises, we're going to do 4 different exercises. Be great to see people and to be able to see what your responses are and everything like that whilst we do these exercises. And Hannah, maybe if we could drop Lincoln off the spotlight. Otherwise, it's Lincoln on the big screen doing all the activities, demonstrating for us, which is fab. But I'd love to see everyone. Super. So yeah, I invite you, if you're comfortable, to have your camera on for the next little while whilst we do some sample exercises. Please feel free to unmute your microphone and ask questions or add points here. So we're going to do 4 exercises that we do very often in our programs. In all of our programs, we pretty much always do breathing, centering, and warm-up exercises. In drama and acting, my background is in drama and acting, I should say, we would never do rehearsal or a performance or anything like that without doing a full warm-up beforehand. It's a really important process for it. I think healthcare professionals and every professional in any walk of life should also think of the same things. How do I warm up my body, my mind, my voice, my breath to be better at what I'm doing, to be prepared, particularly nurses who are working long shifts, difficult circumstances, putting your body through a lot, putting your voice through a lot. Warm-ups are really important. So we're going to start with a breathing exercise that we share, and this one is called the psychological sigh, and it comes from researchers. Well, I discovered through research from Stanford University from Professor Spiegel and Huberman, and they researched a lot of different breathing exercises and kind of summarized that this one has probably the most benefits for our psychology and for our physiology. That's why they call it psychological side. It has psychological benefits too. It's a very simple breathing technique, as they all are. Simply, all we're going to do is breathe in through our nose as much as we can, as much as we are comfortably able to. We're going to pause, breathe in a little bit more, and then let it out as a sigh. Okay, so let's try it all together. So first off, make sure you're sitting comfortably and your back is long and strong and you're relaxed. And be ready to breathe. And let's breathe in through our noses. In we go. As much as we can comfortably. When you reach your limit, pause, in and out through the mouth. And again, breathing in through the nose. Fill your belly with air as much as you're comfortably able to, and pause, and in and out. I think this will be good for your back, Hannah. And last one, this time I'd like you to vocalize the sigh, make the sigh kind of vocal. Now, it doesn't be loud and dramatic, just make it rather than, okay? So breathing in through the nose, fill your lungs, and pause, and in and out. So they discovered this breathing pattern essentially recalibrates your brain and resets your system in lots of different ways, removes a lot of stress and anxiety and nervousness and all of these kind of aspects, and resets our system to start afresh. It's a really good exercise to do between seeing patients, for example, or if you're going into lots of meetings like I'm always doing, to stop from one meeting and move it into another. It's essentially a psychological refresh, a reset. Really useful. I won't talk too much about breathing. You have to join the course to get more of the insight. I'm not going to give all away, like Lincoln was saying. I'm not going to give it all away. We're not going to do a centering exercise per se, but I will mention centering. So centering, mindful practices, meditation practices, really important. And one of the maxims I always like to say, if we're trying to be person-centered, we need to be centered people. And to do that, we need to take the time to center ourselves, to make sure that we are present, to make sure that we are mindful of what we're doing and attentive. If not, it's very difficult to be effective as a practitioner. We're not going to do it today, just in respect of time. Instead, we're going to do a warm-up. It's a very simple movement warm-up. Move as much as you're comfortable and able to, but it's also particularly good as a vocal warm-up. Again, it's very simple. Most of our exercises are simpler than they seem, but there's complexity below that simplicity. This is called noisy yawns. And very simply, we're going to do a yawn. We're going to force a yawn. Even saying the word yawn, I actually have the urge to yawn, and that's very natural. We respond kind of sympathetically with others with a yawn if we see someone yawning, as you all know. Why we do a yawn is we can stretch. Yawns make you want to stretch and move your body, which is good for you. As you do a kind of the breath for a yawn, you oxygenate yourself quite highly. You also open up your vocal cords, you get your resonators working. All of these things start working from a simple yawn. If you've only got 10 seconds to warm up in the morning, why not do a little bit of yawning? Stretches the body out, warms up the vocal cords, gets you oxygenated, and your body does it naturally. It's not some kind of weird thing that people have developed and put in. It's just a yawn. We already do it anyway. So let's do it together. So we're going to take a deep breath in a second. And then when we do, we're going to yawn, fake it till you become it is the phrase, and stretch. Let your body stretch however you want. We're going to stay seated because I'm thinking of Hannah's back here. So let's try it. Stretch as much as you feel able to. So deep breath in, and then let's yawn. It doesn't have to be super loud at this point, just gentle. Let's ease into it. Move as much as you want. Or let your body move however it wants. That's it, Maureen. Really get into it and then shake it off. And we're going to do two more. Let's try to get bigger stretch and a louder yawn each time. So deep breath in and yawn. Super. Last one. We're going to focus on the noise that we make this time. Let's try to make that noise sustained, loud this time, and long. This is about warming up the voice. If you've ever seen actors do warm-ups, by the way, this is a kind of aside. If you ever see actors do vocal warm-ups, they look really, really silly, but they swear by them. Actors swear by them. That's how they get through 4 hours of Shakespeare. That's the way that they do it. So sometimes we have to get over this notion of, oh, we're going to look silly if we do this. It's for your health. Who cares if you look silly? It's about making sure that you're well so you can care for others. So this last one, let's be silly. Let's make a loud, long, silly, noisy yawn. Okay, deep breath in. Oh, I just saw Hannah start yawning. It's actually making me do a real yawn. Okay, and deep breath in. And yawn. Nice, loud, long yawn. Cool. Okay. Hopefully that's got you nice and limbered, oxygenated, and ready to go. And seeing from Muna, have to leave now. Thank you for another meeting. Thank you for the wonderful session. Thank you, Muna. You're very welcome. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Hopefully we can see you at a course soon. 2 more activities we'll do. So the next one is kind of comes through our core practice. It's probably the most important concept that we share, and it comes directly from actor training from a gentleman called Konstantin Stanislavski, who's no longer with us. He's was a Russian director, playwright, performer, and is widely regarded as probably the most influential actor and actor trainer of any generation. You may have heard of method acting from Hollywood, or Hollywood film stars doing it. That comes from Stanislavski, but it's very different to the original intent. So this idea is called actions. An action, very simply, is something we do with, or sometimes to, unfortunately, another person. And it has to fit within the phrase, I am something you. So, for instance, it has to be, I am listening to you. I am respecting you. I am warning you. So it has to be something that fits in that phrase. That's what's called a transitive verb, which means it's a verb that you're doing between 2 people or more than 2 people. So that sounds a bit complicated and possibly confusing, totally understood. Why is it really an important idea for communication? Because we are always performing actions, whether we know it or not. What we try to build in our courses is a conscious use of when we are performing actions and then how to perform actions on purpose. So we're going to try to do that right here, right now. And we can do it at the level of thought. We don't have to do anything special. We don't have to do anything magical, super high-tech acting, whatever, anything like that. All we have to do is we have to think a thought. That's all we have to do. What I would love to see is as many cameras on as possible, because this requires us to look at people's faces. Beauty of Zoom, you don't know who's looking at you. We're all looking at each other. No worries, you all look wonderful. It's all good. So if we can have cameras on, that'd be fantastic. But if not, that's all right. We've got enough to go with. So what I want you to do, I want you to choose someone's face on the screen and just look at them. And I'm going to ask you to perform an action simply by thinking the thought to yourself, I am something you, whilst you're looking at that person's face. I don't want you to over exaggerate it. So if I say I'm warning, if I ask you to do the action, I am warning you, I don't want you to do anything silly like that. I just want you to think that thought and let whatever happens to your body, to your presence, to your face, happen naturally. That's all. Okay, so keep looking at the person's face that you've chosen, and I want you to think the thought, I respect you. I'm respecting you. And choose a different face and think that same thought. Think, I am respecting you. Keep your attention on that person, but change the action to, I am rejecting you. Change the face and think the thought, I am rejecting you. I know it doesn't feel nice, but try. Let's keep focusing on that face and let's change it to a positive one. Let's change it to I admire you, or I'm admiring you. Cool. And we'll stop there. The simplest, and you can keep doing that if you want. You can keep admiring the people around you for the as long as you want. It's really lovely to do it. It's the simplest way we can kind of share what the idea of an action is. Let's give an insight into what our dialogical process is like if you join a course with us as well. So this is how we would then start this kind of conversation. Did anybody notice a difference between those actions? Feel free to unmute those who took part and share your thoughts. Was there a difference between how you felt and how you saw others were responding? Seeing nods from Hannah. Anybody want to offer any thoughts? Go ahead, Hannah.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like rejecting people. It's funny, isn't it? It's much easier to admire. Like I was looking at Amal first, and I was thinking, I welcome you because I've never met her before, and I'm really pleased that she's here. And then it's nice feeling those positive feelings. And then when you said about rejecting, oh, I don't like it. Don't want to reject anyone. But yeah, it's interesting to tune into those different emotions. I don't think you necessarily really are that aware of those shifts in what you're maybe projecting throughout the course of your day life. So yeah, interesting to tune into that.
That's exactly it. Projecting is a really good word. We are always projecting an action. We're always communicating with other people, whether we know it or not. We might not consciously choose to reject people, and that might feel uncomfortable. And I think most people actually do feel uncomfortable with that kind of action. But people do it all the time. Think if you're walking past someone giving out a leaflet on the street saying, "Oh, come to my event," or "Do you want to buy such and such?" You reject them with an action. You look at them, look away. You make it clear to them, "I don't want to speak to you." So these actions are things we're always doing, even the kind of very negative ones. And we are, as you say, Hannah, projecting them all the time. We can be a bit more conscious about it. And I love that you've kind of keyed in. If you want to welcome someone, just think the thought, "I'm welcoming you." It sounds really simple and reductive. And in some ways it is. It's not always going to work as simply as that. But it's a brilliant starting point. Just think the thought, "I'm welcoming you." And everything else will fall into place. Yeah, anybody else, any thoughts they want to share?
Can I
Yeah,
share
actually,
my
I was.
thoughts?
Thank you.
Well, let's go with Maureen first, and then we'll hear from you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for this exercise. I didn't like it when I had to reject because I was looking at Hannah and I'm like, no. The rejection, you are saying it, it's sort of like he's saying it is in my mind, but my heart is saying, I love you, I admire you, and you know, and also the emotion, like I didn't have any emotion for rejecting, So it was, yeah, it's a very good exercise that we sometimes maybe are not aware of, our emotions and how we display ourselves to other people. But the rejecting one really was the most difficult because you would want to, admire, you'd want to respect, you would love to love, to honor and all that. So I kept on saying, no, I'm not rejecting you, Hannah, until you say then change to another one. Then that's when I felt, at ease that, yeah, this is actually the one, I'm admiring you and all those things. But yeah, thank you for the exercise. Thank you so much. And I'm definitely joining. Thank you, Lincoln. I'm definitely joining.
Well, I am welcoming you. I am actively playing the action to welcome you, Maureen. You'd be very welcome.
Please, I'm number one on the list. Thank you so much.
I love that you brought up the idea of emotions as well, because emotions can be tricky terrain to navigate when we talk about communication. And lots of communications training talks about emotions as something we do to each other. I kind of reject that notion. For me, an emotion describes the action that you're doing. So you can welcome someone aggressively, you can welcome someone joyfully, you can welcome someone with sorrow in your heart. So what you're doing to them is still the same. You're still welcoming them, but the emotion changes the kind of flavor of the experience, gives you different information, sure, but it changes the kind of the sense of it. It's not the thing itself. You're not trying to anger Amal if you are angry at Amal, for example. Maybe you would try to anger her if you have some nefarious purpose. Hopefully not, but that's not the purpose. The anger is the kind of descriptor of the communication. Amal, you had something you want to share as well.
Yeah, actually, I was looking at Hannah when I say I'm welcoming you, Hannah. And then when, like you say, rejection, I rejecting you, I just feel bad. You can see how my facial expression like shift to happy to like until like disappointed. So wallahi, as you say, you can see the emotional. You can describe it. Actually, I love this like training because it makes me understand my emotional more and how my facial expression is related. So thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome, Amal. We'd welcome you onto the programs as well if you'd want to join them for sure. Glad you enjoyed this one. Conscious of the time here, folks. Has anybody any other thoughts they'd like to share? Maybe some of the folks who weren't on screen on their camera, maybe in the chat box if you can't unmute and speak. Was there any thoughts as you were watching us do the exercise? How did it feel watching it rather than being part of it? Maybe I'll ask Catherine in particular. I know Catherine's on our program. Oh, there we go. As soon as I say it there. So Catherine in the chat says, as a student undergoing HAT training, found that every lesson isn't just knowledge, it's a boost of morale, a reminder of the why we care, and a renewal of the strength we carry as a nurse. Hello, everyone. Oh, that's really kind. Thank you, Catherine. I tell you what, I'm conscious of time. I don't like overrunning ever if I can help it. Very, very much want to respect all of your times. So we'll wrap that up. Thank you all for coming. Thank you, Hannah, for hosting, as always. Well, no, it's you. It's you. You've done a lot of work in the background too. I'm always delighted to do these. If you want to ask me any questions, please reach out. I'm happy to speak to anyone if you have any questions. If any of the links don't work and all of that kind of stuff, which is kind of common for me, my tech knowledge isn't great. Let me know and we can sort that out. But thank you for coming along today. Any closing words you want to share, Hannah?
Only just huge thanks to you for another wonderful session, and thank you to everyone for taking part today. I hope you found it useful, and we'll pop the recording on our YouTube channel later today. And yeah, I hope to see lots of you at the next Health Action training courses.
I hope so too. I will share the link to the slides in the chat box here now. I'll also send them to you, Hannah, and you can send it on to everybody who registered, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's great.
Maureen asks, when is the actual session starting? So the next course that we would have, Intro to HAT course, will be in September. If you sign up to the waiting list link, Maureen, which I'll get for you now, in fact, that will get you the latest info on that. Here we go. Make sure I've got the right link. It's pretty common I put the wrong link in, right, Hannah? So this second link is the waiting list that you can sign up to do the next Intro to Health Action training courses. Just so you know, spaces are really quite sought after. Not trying to put anyone off signing up or anything like that, but for example, that waiting list has got about 150 people on it. We can take pretty much 30 max in each cohort, so you can see there's a lot of people who want to do it and not enough of the courses to accommodate them all. But yeah, feel free to have a look at that, sign up to it. I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to stop taking up the air and hope to see you all in some HAT courses in the future. Thanks, everyone.
Yes, thank you. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.